No man wants to marry Miss MBP. Miss MBP simply means Miss Bossy Pants. She usually can't help herself. She has bossy in her DNA. When a man first meets this kind of character, he might think the character is cute for a while. But once he starts feeling like he's in grammar school, being told what to do and what not to do, marriage might not be established and he will leave the relationship. Another type of woman is the miss playing games with his heart. What game are you playing with a man's heart? This character thinks that being a game player can land her a man. However, even though a man might be intrigued by a hard-to-get lady, but once he decides that he's interested in her, what he needs is a straightforward person, honest person. And also, this lady needs to quit quickly all her battleship and all her dramas. If not, she will be shown the door. Another type of lady is the lady that is always the daddy figure lady. Actually, in that relationship, she's not looking for a boyfriend or a husband. What she's actually looking for is a father figure. Even though the man, when he first meets this type of character, he might think that it's okay the way she looks up to her family or to her father for approval and everything. But in a short while, he will see the need to have sex with a real woman and not someone that is still living in her teenage that is trying to get daddy's attention. That's not the kind of a lady men want. That's not the kind of lady they want to get married. Another type of lady is mommy's girl. The mommy's girl type of lady. She's always on the speed dial with her mother. She calls her mother every minute, every seconds of the day. In fact, her mother decides what happens in her marriage. Not her husband, not herself. She's on the speed dial with her mom. She's always calling her. The mom decides what happens in her marriage, what happens in her home. There is nothing she would do without calling her mother. She cannot just take a decision or make a decision on her own. Her mother needs to make that decision for her. Her mother needs to tell her what to do or what not to do in her marriage. This type of ladies, men don't like to get married to them. We still have another type of lady that men don't want to get married to. That has this character that men don't like in marriage. Is the character trait of I want to change him. You want to change your man? How do you plan to change him? At first, this lady may present herself as, oh, I love my guy. I love everything about him. But as time goes on, she begins to find fault in his wardrobe. It's either his wardrobe is not well arranged. However, when she gets to his friends or his hobbies, she is usually kicked to the curb. Another type of woman we have is suspiciously jealous. This kind of woman is always on the edge all the time. She is disturbed because of what she has been through in the past. Maybe she has been hurt, burnt, or heartbroken in the past. So she is on the guard for anything that looks or feels wrong. However, when a man comes in contact with this kind of woman or a lady, he feels is a damsel in distress who needs to be reassured that he is not that type of guy in her past. But once she accuses him so many times, he will have no other choice than to leave the relationship because he can't go through his life being prosecuted for somebody else's crimes. Yet another type of woman that we have is Miss I live for you. I have nothing else going on. This kind of a lady is very difficult to date, let alone marry. At first, the guy might feel that she is so, or he is flattered that she is so into him. But very quickly, he feels overwhelmed and suffocated by her. As a woman, you must have something going on in your own life so that you are not just waiting by the door for him to come home. Don't get me wrong. I am not saying there's anything wrong for a lady to wait for your man at the door. Okay? Don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong in you waiting for your man at the door. But what I'm saying is get busy. Have something doing so that you are not always by the door waiting for him to come home. Okay? Get busy. Have something you are doing. Don't always be there so that he don't feel suffocated, so that he doesn't feel you don't have anything doing. Keep yourself busy. Get busy. That's my point. Then another type of lady we have is Miss I have daddy issues. This kind of woman usually dates older men, and deep down in her, she is looking for a father figure, not a boyfriend or a husband. Initially, her guy might like the way she looks up to him for approval, or the way she looks up to him for questions, for answers to her questions. Then another kind of lady we have is Miss I have daddy issues. This kind of woman usually dates older men, and deep down in her, she is looking for a father figure and not a boyfriend or husband. Initially, her guy might like the way she looks up to him for approval, the way she looks up to him for answers to her questions. However, he realizes that he wants to have sex with a real woman and not someone who is stuck in her teen years trying to get daddy to notice her. Yet another type of woman we have is Miss I call my mom 5 times a day about everything. What are you calling your mom or your mother 5 times a day for? For everything that happens in your house? No, it is not right. But this type of woman has her mother on a speed dial. She can't make a decision without her mother's opinion or approval. Her mother tells her what she does in her husband's house. In fact, her mother decides what happens in her relationship or marriage. In fact, her mother decides what happens in her marriage or relationship. When a guy first meets her, the guy might think it's so nice the way she is so close to her family. But soon, he realizes that it's way too much because a man does not want to ask for his mother's permission or his mother-in-law's permission about everything in his life. Miss, I shouldn't really be saying this. What did I say? Miss, I shouldn't really be saying this. This woman loves to gossip. And she likes to talk about other people. And she likes to hear about other people, what is happening in their lives. She wants to know everything. She wants to come close to know what is happening to everyone. Miss, I shouldn't really be saying this. But she's saying it. She's gossiping. She's talking about other people. At first, when a guy meets this type of a lady, he may be entertained by her. But eventually or gradually, He begins to think when he's not around, when he's not close to her, he begins to think, oh, what could she be saying now that I'm not around? Or what could she be saying behind me? When a man begins to, or when this kind of thoughts crops into a man's heart, that is a kind of a no-no to that relationship. So, bridle your tongue. Mind how you talk. You shouldn't talk anyhow. As a lady, you should bridle your tongue. Yet another type of woman we have is Miss Keeping It Up with the Joneses. Miss Keeping It Up with the Joneses. She wants to know what is happening in the next door. She wants to know what they are doing. She wants to know what they have, what they don't have. By so doing, or she wants to have that, whatever they have, the next door neighbor has, she wants to have it. She's checking out what they have and what they don't have, and thereby giving her guy undue pressure. And when the guy gets fed up, the guy might think, oh, she's not appreciative enough. She doesn't appreciate what we have. She's not contented with what we have. If not, she would have appreciated what we have. She shouldn't be wishing to be someone else's. She shouldn't be wishing to be the neighbor in the next door. And when that kind of a thing occurs, the man may walk out of the relationship. He walks out of the relationship. A man wants to have a woman who is contented with whatever she has, who does not check her next door neighbor what they have or what they don't have, who does not check out or put undue pressure on her man on what her neighbor has. Because your neighbor has this, you want to have it as well. You want to get it. You want your husband to buy it. Without considering, oh, this particular thing, no budget for it. Just that you just want to have it. That kind of character, that kind of woman, you need to change. You need to change and be the real you. Don't look at your neighbor. Don't say, my neighbor has this, so I must have it. No. Except if you have the money. Except you know your pockets and you know your guy's pocket, that you guys can confidently afford it. Okay? So, keep this in mind that most men just want a happy and easygoing woman who has good values. Who has good values. So, just put on the best you out there. Okay? And everything will work out for your relationship. No pretense. Be yourself. Be who you are. Your real self. Please, if you are new here, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notification. Don't forget to share the video, and if you got value, type I got value. Bye bye till I see you next time. See you. Great minds